Hello, Stacy. I'm really early, and that's okay. I enjoy it. And Robert. Okay. Did everybody get the PDFs? Did we get the PDFs? Yes, no? On the eighth note triplet, you got it. Okay. How about you, Stacy? I promised everybody. You're welcome, not a problem. I just wanted to straighten a few things out with the triplets. You know, I keep saying triplet roll or paratriplets or triplets and with double stickings, all that good stuff. Everybody gets a little confused. Okay, who might you be? I cannot pronounce that. I apologize. Is that, Huyada or Mr. K? How about if I call you Mr. K? Would that be okay? So you need to tell me where you're from, who you might be, how long you've been playing, you're in any of the Facebook groups, what's going on? I'm going to call you Mr. K. Or how about Mr. H? Duh. I can't pronounce that name. I apologize. Ugh. Hello. I'm very early. Seth, how you doing? Seth, did you get, I don't know if I sent you the PDFs. Oh boy. Okay. Stacy and Robert, do you have any questions on the PDF? And I'm sorry, Seth. You're from Istanbul. Okay. They make a good symbol. I'm sure that you know that. And how long have you been playing? 100 years? 2 years? What? What kind of music do you play? What kind of drum set you have? Can you read? You know, etc. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. Everybody's going to make you feel at home and comfortable. So we all should say hello to, I cannot pronounce his name. That's H-V-E-Y-D-A. Well, let's say hello to him, make him feel, Dennis, how are you? Did you get the sheet? 3 years, okay. So you've been playing 3 years. Did you have any formal study? No questions, Stacy? Okay. Listen, I'm going to call you Mr. Istanbul. That'll be better, for me anyway. So you'll understand who I'm addressing, okay? Above your name there, you see my name with my email. What you want to do is email me, and if you're going to frequent this platform, you will get free PDFs. So you have to email me first. Okay? All right, so did you understand the difference now, Dennis? The para triplets. Now, I gave them to you with no accents, and there's a reason for it. Because come in the future here, within the next month or so, man, you guys are going to quit your job, your day job, and be full-time drummers, practice 100 hours a day. Well, there's a polyrhythm that's going on there, Robert. See, what I'm doing, yeah, there is a pulse, there is a feel. Let me see. Let me just, if I'm playing with an accent, you'll hear it. There's a reason why I don't want you to play with the accent, okay? Okay, so now, if I'm just playing a straight ahead paradiddle 16ths, you know, that's like straight up and down. We're swinging the paradiddles, what we're actually doing with a para triplet. So now I change the feel, change the count. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So in reality, one measure, if you're playing your bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're nailing the accents, what that gives you is a polyrhythm of 3 against 4. Okay, Dennis, no jokes. Okay. So, I'm playing the regular paradiddle. So I'm just playing that regular rock pattern. Simple money beat. That's straight up and down. Now you're learning the paradiddle in an eighth note triplet formation. If you nail the accents, yes, you're going to get a 3 against 4 feel. Okay? But I'm not after that. What I'm after is just to do the sticking without accents. Like if you're in the half stroke, yeah, play your bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You have to go just about. You have to go 2 measures for it to come back to your right hand. So if I'm just playing it by myself, without accents rather, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then it starts the next measure with the left. So the 3 against 4 feel is there, but I just rather you just do no accents whatsoever. Because we're going to run down the syncopation and the stick control book with that para triplets. Okay? And we're going to change all kinds of feels. So besides, we started with the para triplets, and that was basically for everybody's benefit, but especially for Dennis's benefit because he gets confused. Now we don't. He shouldn't anyway. The eighth note triplet is just an alternating triplet. 1 and 3 and 4 and simple. No accent. Okay, and then we have the eighth note triplet in a duple sticking or doubles. 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and we understand that. And then we just did the para triplet. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and you think in eighth note triplets, and instead of playing single strokes, alternating strokes, or double strokes, now you switched the sticking pattern to a paradiddle. And everybody should know this next one because it's in the stick control book formula, the formula book, is the triplet roll. What happens with the triplet roll? Yes, I'm counting eighth note triplets, but I'm doubling each count. 1 and slow it down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Do we see that, gentlemen? Do we see that? Yes, no? So you have a sheet now that demonstrates all, well, it's not all the possibilities of a triplet, but that's the terms, okay? Then the three-stroke roll. I don't know, I don't like this one. But it's on the chart, the Vic Firth chart, 1 and 2. And to me, it's just an eighth note triplet, 3 strokes. Okay, gentlemen, ladies, people. Okay, another plug for my books again, okay? Because I get some emails, and that's a good thing for me. The one book that we work from, well, we work from both books, but I primarily work with the stick control book Formulas, and people want to purchase that book. Now, this is not available on any other site but my site. It will be visible on my site, rather. In the meantime, if you decide that you'd like to purchase the book, you email me, okay, and I'll give you the details. The book is $45. It comes in 2 formats, the hardcover and the PDFs. The PDFs are $25. Now, it's very difficult to take this book and mail it to say Germany or France or Scotland or wherever, okay? Because the postal is totally off the wall with this, the cost. So I cannot send this book overseas. Only in the United States is it available in hardcover. If you want the PDFs, that's 180 sheets. You'll get 180 sheets sent to you in your mailbox, okay? For $25, okay. Now, I wasn't aware of this until yesterday because I'm always in a hurry to do things. And I really appreciate you people making me aware of this. There's a typo here, or I don't know what happened. But anyway, I am going to get off. I have 4 more copies of this. I'm going to get the cover changed. But anyway, this one says, Matt Patella's Live Lessons Walk Book. Huh, my mistake, W-O-O-K. It's a workbook. And I think it's funny, okay? So what I'm going to do, this book is, we work on this book as well. We alternate between the both books. And this book is a $35 book, hardcover. And that's available only in the United States, the U.S. Then it also comes in the PDF format, which is $20 into your mailbox. So if you're interested, please email me and we'll go through the details. What's this? Hola, Matt. Estis Leveros Muto Tops. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure you're not saying anything bad, are you, Marcio? Huh, I hope not. Okay, thank you, Stacy. I appreciate that. Okay, I didn't send you, Seth, did I send you the PDFs or no? Did I forgot to send them to you. And Marcio, you're not going to get anything anymore unless you buy a book or PDFs. You could afford 20 pesos. I know, English, please. He's having a difficult time. He's a drummer, so a quarter note he understands. English, please, he doesn't understand. That's pretty, you know, if you're gonna come to a site where the language is English, you should be able to either speak the English, you know, or understand it. You know, I love it when they no speaking the English, you know. That's understandable. I do give people credit, or, you know, it's very, you know, intelligent of them to learn 2 or 3 different languages. Me, I have a hard time with the English language. But anyway, you know, it's funny because you have a lot of people from out of the United States, you know, the first generation immigrants. Like I'm a second or third, second. Well, he didn't buy any, Dennis. You understand? You understand Spanish, Dennis? That's right, Jimmy. How you doing, Jim? No speaking the English. I'll tell you what, they come out and do some work for us, or for an American person, okay? And you screw their paycheck, well, you watch them talk English quick. Ha! Anyway, here we go. You guys got the PDFs. Seth, you still there? Seth is a really passionate guy, man. He really wants to learn how to play the drums, like Stacy and Robert and all of you. Yeah, I am. I'm referring to the triplets, the one I did this morning. I'll send it to you later on, okay, Seth? I apologize. Okay, so we established what the differences are, the para triplet, the triplet roll, three-stroke roll, the paradiddle, para triplet, so on and so forth. We all understand that, right? Okay. Onward. Now, any questions on the triplet? Like, you know, Robert asked for the question of, there's the polyrhythmic feel if you put the accent on the first note of the paradiddle, and you were playing the bass drum 4, it's 1 and 2, 3, there's my 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So I'm just playing 1, 2, 3. Now it's the para triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Did you hear the 4 with the bass drum and the 3 with the accents? Do we understand that? Well, I thought he was from Mexico. Portuguese, I don't know. Hey, Paul, how you doing? So that's a 3 against 4 polyrhythm. The 4s with the bass drum and the 3s with the accents. The biome, we all remember that? Okay, let's go back to the lesson we were doing last night. Any questions on the lessons that we were doing last night, the triplets? Okay. Any, I can't even say what I want to say anymore. Okay, any requests of going over something? Not certain of? You want to revisit Mr. Mike Clark's book? Any request? I'll give you 2 minutes to request something. Do some rudiments with the levels. No questions? No. Requests, Paul. How many people here have the Buddy Rich book? Well, yeah, Mike Clark's book. You have the book? Oh, Stacy has it. Okay. Yeah, we're going to work from the Mike Clark book. It's over on the other side of the room. I plan on doing that next week one day, okay, or 2 days. Let's work on some linear time. Okay, let's see the fun that we could have in creating a linear line. First, we'll establish a line, then make it linear. Okay? Okay, all right. Whoa, all at once, all these questions. When parentheses are around what, Paul? snare drum. You know, sometimes these jazz dudes, well, like me, I'll play my snare drum. And it'd be snares off, snares on. I don't know, I have to really look at that one. Okay, let's do a linear line. Let's take a simple line. 2 eighth notes, 1 and 3 quarter notes. 2, 3, 4. So here's the line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And simple thing. Now my sticking, I could do anything I want with that as long as I play the figure. Or I could play that on any voice that I'd like. Okay, so I could play alternating the strokes, or one hand, 1 and 2, 3. Everybody following it? 1 and 2, 3, 4. So now to make that linear, I need no ghost. It doesn't mean ghost notes, Robert. I think, I don't know, we have to see. All right, that's what it means. I'm sorry. I didn't know exactly what you barely audible ghost notes. Okay, if I'm playing a jazz time, you guys are drawing me off this linear thing. If I'm playing, now here's the ghost notes. I put a crescendo in there, but I started very light. Hear that, Paul? Stacy, that's very good, Stacy. Barely audible. Okay. Ghost notes, Robert, is acceptable. That's what he was talking about. Okay. The linear thing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I could play that particular figure on with any sticking pattern that I like. Or I could play it on any drum I want. 1 and 2. Yeah, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I still played the same figure. 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now you see how you can mix that up? Okay, you see how you mix that up? 1, instead of 1, like alternating the strokes, to play a 1 hand. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Now, how are we going to make that a linear line? Well, we're going to fill in the blanks. We're going to make it all 16ths. 1 E and a, 2 E and a. Or no, we can make it all eighth notes. Do we see that? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and hello? Do we all understand that? You guys are distracting me. I mentioned Mike Clark's book. Everybody flips out. All right, I'm not going to say a word until somebody says something about linear. Or I could do a Gene Krupa solo. Or a Joe Morello solo. We understand the linear things? Okay. You can take any figure you want. We're doing 1, and the figure that we're going to work from right now is 2 eighth notes and 3 quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm using just my right hand. I could use an alternating sticking, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then I have the option to take that figure and move it around the kit. I could, use all the voices I want to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's not the one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 extra symbols. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's not a linear line. It's just 2 eighth notes and 3 quarter notes. So, in order to make it a linear line, we're going to run a line of eighth notes. Straight line. And I'm going to play the notes that are absent with the bass drum. And I'll start off very simple. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I put that bass drum in there to maintain a straight line of eighth notes. Do we understand that? Who's this? What's the definition of linear? Dennis, give me your your address. I'm going to send you a Webster's dictionary. And Google it. That's two ways you can find out what linear means. But I'm going to tell you what it means, linear drumming. It's a straight line of rhythm. Okay? If I'm playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, that's a broken line of rhythm, meaning there's 2 eighth notes and 3 quarter notes. Now, in order for that to be linear, because I have that eighth note in there, I'm going to make it a straight line of eighth notes, whereas only one voice at a time plays. So I'm going to take the line 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm going to make it linear using the bass drum. I could do a lot of different things with this, but this is the basic. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I did a straight line of eighth notes. Do you understand that, Dennis? Straight line of rhythm. If I play the stick control book, line 1, that's a linear line. I didn't play the bass drum, I didn't play the hi-hat, I just played on one voice. However, I could take that and play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I still played the same sticking pattern, but I mixed it up on the voices, so I made it, it's still linear. You come up with some really very interesting, you come up with some very interesting patterns from the stick control book on the drum set, mixing it up. Okay, Seth, you would not hit 2 or more drums, cymbals at the same time. Absolutely correct. If I go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, that's a linear line of eighth notes. Now, if I add my bass drum on the counts of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, it's not a linear line. That's number 1. And the definition I picked up along my journeys, it's called layered. So I'm playing 2 notes together. 1, bass drum and snare. 1 and 2 and. Or if I'm playing straight eighth notes with my bass drum. I layered the notes, or I hit at the same time. That doesn't happen in linear. Eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I can mix up the voices any way I want. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. It's linear. And we're working with the eighth notes. But let's get back to that one simple pattern. 1 and 2. All right? 1 and 2, 3, 4. Write it down on a manuscript book, paper if you have it. 2 eighth notes and 3 quarter notes. See that? Now, for me to make it linear, all right, I want to use a different voice to fill in the blanks, a straight line of eighth notes. Now the bass drum wasn't there. I added the bass drum to complete the straight line of eighth notes. I can play the figure 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and reverse it. play the bass drum as the figure, 2 and 3, then place there, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if you guys think talking and playing is easy, try it sometime. Water time, gentlemen and ladies. And Mr. Istanbul, you still here? You got it, Dennis? Seth, you got it right. Seth gave you the definition of that one, Dennis. Okay, everybody understands that. Anybody want to venture off into a different kind of pattern utilizing the triplet? All right, let's try a triplet. Let's take 1/8 note triplet and 3/4 notes again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's not a straight line of rhythm, it's a broken line of rhythm. For it to be a straight line of rhythm, I need a constant flow of triplets. So now I have a couple options here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I just played it in a linear formation. I can go 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and get it? Triplet flam. Why do you want to do a flam? If it's a flam, it's not a linear concept. Officially, a flam is not 2 notes. Well, it is 2 notes, really. It's a grace note before the king note, or the principal note. And that note hits just before the principal note. Here's without the flam, that's 1 note. With the flam. You hear the difference? And what's the objective of a flam? Is to make the note sound fatter. With the flam, my grace note is as close as I possibly can get it. I could open up the grace note and get it. And close it up. 1. It's not considered in the linear family there. A triplet flam, the triplet, you could play the flam in front of the triplet. 1, 2. That's a flam accent. Then you could do a Swiss Army triplet, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. If you get your Swiss Army triplet sounding like this, and somebody says your roll sounds like shit, then you can smile. Say, I wasn't playing a roll. Ha! Absolutely, you can apply it to stick control, Dennis. Here, let me give you a linear exercise from stick control. Inga da banga da boonga da banga. This is why it's very essential to revisit and to ask questions and to not, I don't want to duplicate my lessons, but when you're not certain of something, and that's a good one, Dennis, because now you're bringing this out and it's helping for the people who are not sure to understand it better. Thank you, Dennis. Everybody should say thank you, Dennis. Okay, let's take a linear exercise from stick control book. All of 5, 6, and 7. If I play just on one surface or multiple surfaces separately, that is a linear line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If I take that same line and do a substitution and say, okay, right in, take a break, and I'll use my bass drum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's still a linear line. If I did line 3, right, right, left, left, right, right, watch. 1 and 2 and 3 and linear. 1 and, I'm just substituting the voices. That's a very basic kind of linear. Now, if I want to play, for example, instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And let's make it a linear line of 16ths. But how am I going to do that? Because it's only eighth notes. So I want to put the E in the da. It's not there. I'm going to put it in. My right hand plays 1, E, and da. You see that? The stick control. 1 and 2. That's one way. Or I could just play the stick control book and answer with my bass drum only. See that? 1, 2, E, and or my left foot. Whichever you want to do. That's linear. How you doing, Troy? Everybody says thank you. Everybody send Dennis $100. Just joking, people. All right, I did mention the Buddy Rich book, right? We finished with the linear. We could do more. Dennis, you're a star today. How you doing, Troy? Okay. This is in my last book that I'm going to complete. I have the 2 in the works now. The syncopation formulas is just about done. And the rudimental breakdown with the levels is just about done as well. So let's start with a simple pattern, the 5-stroke roll. It's in the Buddy Rich book. Whoever has the Buddy Rich book, open up to the 5-stroke roll. Okay? Now Henry Adler presents it in 6/8, and that's okay. Because in 5 strokes, it's 5-stroke roll, there's 5 strokes. But there's also a 5-stroke rough, which is called now a single 5 to confuse everybody a little bit more. So, let's work with the 5-stroke roll. The sticking pattern is right, right, left, left, right. Then it alternates. You started the first one with the right hand. The second one is going to start with the left hand. Left, left, right, right, left. The last note of the 5-stroke roll is accented. So I have right, right, left, left, and I come down with the right as an accent. Now the way I'm breaking it down is with the levels, the way it should be played, or executed rather. Not the way, you can play the 5 any way you want, musically wherever you want, but I'm showing you the correct execution, the laws of physics. If I play 2 rights, something happens here. I have a tap, an up, tap, tap, down. Now, like I said, Henry Adler presented it in 6/8, which is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, the way I'm breaking it down is tap, up, tap, tap, down, and you rest on the 6. That's what's coming. Oh, you're going to send them to 500. All right. Good for Dennis. All right. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about making that 5-stroke roll linear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, how did I make it linear? I added the bass drum on the count of 6. So I made it a straight line of 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did you understand that, guys? There's all different kinds of formations for the 5-stroke roll. Okay? I just want to leave it at that for now. We'll be back tonight. Please, if everybody has the Buddy Rich book, can you have it ready for tonight? And Seth, I'm going to try to send you those PDFs right now, okay? Is there any questions on today's lesson? Or the fun thing that we did? Very disorganized. Starting next week, man, I'm going to be like a general. You have a question, Paul? Or you have the Buddy Rich book? Stacy has it. Jimmy has it. How about you, Robert? Troy? Seth? Dennis? Do you guys have the 5-stroke roll? I mean, the Buddy Rich book? If you do, please have it, or you have some manuscript paper. I am sick of that computer. Seth, well, thank you. The lesson last night wasn't good, I guess. You weren't here. Huh. Anyway, Seth, it's the snare drum method by the Buddy Rich and Henry Adler. All you need is you have any blank manuscript paper, or just take a piece of paper from your printer, and we'll write it out for you. I'm not writing this out. Okay? All right, just bring a blank piece of paper and a pencil, and I'll help you write it out. It's very simple. Okay? We'll do the 5-stroke roll, 5-stroke rough, the 7-stroke roll, and the 7-stroke rough. And we'll put it in a couple different formations, okay? Mr. Manthe, you have it? Good. Bring it this evening at 7 p.m. What is the question, Jimmy? You don't want to start it up again. You're not starting anything up. That's number one. But can a 5-stroke roll be played on a regular time than cut time? I'm not playing First off, I'm not playing the 5-stroke roll in cut time. That's number one. Show something online about it. I don't know. The information, Jimmy. This is what confuses so many different people. All this information online. You want to see, well, what does linear mean? So you Google it, and somebody says, this is a linear line. Then you Google it again and see what else somebody else says. He's saying something different. So who are you supposed to believe? What is it? The 5-stroke roll in cut time, it's played with a march feel, 2/4. And that's where everybody gets confused with cut time. They count it as if it were 2/4. It's not. And that's where everything explodes into an argument. So it's not, I don't know if you could get it from there, but you could try. You go on my site and hit up Hudson Music. If you can't, you have to buy it someplace else if you're going to buy it, Robert. I don't think so either. You might have to get it, I don't know if either on, well, I'll tell you what. There's a new thing on the site there on Hudson Music, is Alfred Music. You might be able to get it on Alfred Music. If you get it on Alfred Music, I get credit for it. So you could try that. If you hit something from Alfred, you could search Alfred's. Did you hear that one, Robert? It is on the site. Okay. Jimmy, when you say 5-stroke roll and cut time, what exactly are you talking about? I don't want to start it up. You're not starting anything again. Well, a 5-stroke roll is right, right, left, left, right. That's to the right-hand lead. And then to the left-hand lead is left, left, right, right, left. Now, how you play it musically or how it's written, it's still a 5-stroke roll. So, here's the bigger problem with cut time. People just don't know how to read in 4/4 time. That is a big problem, a big issue. What I did with the syncopation formula. I took maybe 20 pages of how Ted Reed wrote in 4/4. And like I said, each line has three measures. What you're going to see is the math. Now, when I count, the cut time means to slice it in half, not to play it twice as fast. If you play in 2/4, you're playing it twice as fast. But it don't mean anything. That's it. That's exactly it, Seth. Thank you. Alfred has it there. You can get it from Alfred, but go through the site first. And you go right from the Hudson to Alfred, I get credit for it. Thank you. Seth, I sent you a message, Skype. That's a different thing, Stacy. I had the author of that's the drum set application of the rudiments. Him and I are like night and day. But if you know, it's just a different variation. He owns the rights to the books now. I don't know. Okay. Seth, I sent you a message on Skype. Did you get that? Okay, I'm gonna close it down. Okay, guys, we'll see you tonight at 7 p.m., all right? Let me try to send that out to you, Seth. And who else is here that I didn't send it to? Let's see. Hoist, you got it, right? Troy, did you get it? And what happened to, Marcio didn't get it? And the new guy from Istanbul. Right? Okay, guys. We'll see everybody tonight, 7 p.m. Have a good rest of the day. Jimmy, if you could listen with that statement, hold on. You could switch time signatures. You can go from 4 to cut time. You can go from 4/4 to 5/8 and still play a 5-stroke roll. What I'm showing you what a 5-stroke roll is, not where to play it and how to play it in some sort of musical notation. That's all I'm doing. You're welcome, Robert. Jimmy, it's going to complicate things. Trust me. If you want me to try to answer the question, the two different time signatures. What are two different time signatures? Give me how he presents it, Jimmy. Jimmy, give it to me how you said. I looked at it again tonight and see what the drummer did exactly. I know the metronome stayed the same and played in two different time signatures. What were the two different time signatures, Jimmy? From what to what? Four measures of 3/4 equal four measures of 3/4 equal 3 measures of 4/4. Cut time is a controversial subject because of the counting system that's used. It's much easier, yes, to count it in 2/4, 1 and 2 and. But that's not what it is. The count is universal. The count is 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. You cut it in half, you get 2 measures. 2/2 plus 2/2 equals 4/4. It's easy. Okay, guys.